Hello. How's it going? Grand Rising, everyone. Just looking for my lighter so I can light some Palo Santo. What did I do with it? How is everyone? Hello, Donna. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Connie. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Just looking for my lighter so I can light some Palo. What did I do with it? There it is. Everyone sleep well last night? These energies are getting less intense. They were really crazy the other day, weren't they? Things are starting to simmer down a little bit now. Hi, Nelts. Hi, Erin. Hi, Connie. Hi, Michelle. Hello, Trish. Grand Rising, everyone. Hi, Krista. Hi, JC. Hi, Chantal. Hi, Catherine. Did you guys have a good night? Feeling tired this week, not sleeping well. I'm sorry to hear that, Stephanie. We need to make sure we're getting our what do you call it? Our R&R, rest and relaxation time. This Paulo doesn't want to light. This is how you know it's legit, Paulo. It doesn't want to freaking burn. Hi, Cherise. Hi, Susan. So what have you guys been up to? Anybody got some stuff going on? I have a Christopher that's going to join me in about 30 minutes so we can do some Qigong chats. I'm very excited about. How was the regression with Chen, everyone? We'll watch this weekend. I am going to do the same thing. I was so busy yesterday. This is why I'm so thankful for Daniela helping me out. My schedule was full yesterday. full. I did not get much done other than all my responsibilities. So yeah, I did not get to do much enjoyable stuff other than work stuff. So I will be checking that out today, probably. Anybody have any successful regressions come through? JC said, I messed up my lower back from holding my daughter and it's been hurting the last 2 weeks. Sorry to hear that, JC. Make sure that you're getting yourself some extra time and rest. Maybe even do some Reiki on yourself. Self Reiki is very powerful. You're almost like giving yourself permission to heal when you do it. My phone cut off in the middle of the meditation with Chen. I'll revisit today. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sheree says, I got some Blue Lotus and it has helped me to relax a lot. Yes, Blue Lotus is amazing. One of the best nighttime herbal teas you can drink. Flavor, not so much, but for the purpose, yes. The regression was great. I watched it super early this morning and fell back asleep and slept like a baby. That's good. Wonderful. Anything interesting come through the regression? Hey, Daniel Jackson is here. Hi, Daniel. I owe you some Organite, Daniel. I don't know if you saw my post yesterday, but Daniel won my engagement contest that I didn't even know I was having. Hi, Alma. Nice to see you, love. Hi, Lucy. Michelle says Blue Lotus tastes like artichoke water. That is accurate, Michelle. Very true. Lucy says, I plan to watch the Chen video tonight when the kids go to bed. Wonderful. Yeah, let me know how you guys do with that. I want to know if you guys had a successful past life regression through there. That'd be amazing if you did. Catherine says, my phone cuts out every time I watch a live with Andy. Maybe smudge your phone. There's a lot of intense energy that comes on when people are channeling. If you guys notice, the feed starts to mess up a little when sometimes when we're channeling because of all the energy coming through the stream. Hi, Chandrika. Nice to see you. I regressed back to an ET lifetime. It was really interesting. Lovely. What kind of ET did you see? Since there's so many of them here, we got a large group up there. You never know which ones are here with all these starseed races. I'm feeling a whole lot better. Not sure why, but I'll take it. Trying all kinds of things. That's wonderful, Chantal. Recently, the energies have been really intense. Have you guys noticed that? Really weird stuff going on. Connie says, would you know what ratios to use for a sea salt spray? You'll notice that it starts to thicken when you spray it. And that your little nozzle might actually start to get gunked up. So if it's like that, then there's a little bit too much sea salt in there. So I would just keep adding it and seeing how it goes. Like if you got a bottle about this big, add like a teaspoon and see how it goes. So it might actually end up messing with your sprayer though. That's why sometimes it's better to use like a different one, like a big I have like one of those big spray bottles. Um Just reading through the comments. I had Jono's Gatekeeper workshop last night, which was amazing. I didn't even remember that was last night. Wonderful. Anybody else go to the Gatekeeper workshop? I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Lucy. Did you learn anything about your Gatekeeper? Why is my spiritual awakening powers stronger before bed? Andrew, that is because your brain is moving into a theta brainwave state. Right before you fall asleep and right when you wake up in the morning, your brain is in the same state you would be as if you were under hypnosis, a very light form of hypnosis, but still. So you are able to perceive things around you easier than when you're wide awake, like right now. So you're able to sense things around you, you're able to get downloads easier. There's a lot of things that are heightened in that mindset, in that state of mind that you have when you wake up or when you first go to sleep. Especially if you wake up in the middle of the night, because if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're still kind of in that brainwave state. You know what's interesting with astral projection, for example, one of the questions people have asked, like, if I'm meeting somebody in the astral, right, and their alarm is set for 8 a.m., and at exactly 8 a.m., do they disappear from the astral? Like, do they just go poof, gone? No, they don't, actually, because you can be in both the astral and your physical body at the same time. It actually takes a few minutes for you to kind of disappear. Have you ever seen the movie, oh my God, Ready Player One? You ever seen that one? It's about a video game movie. It's pretty interesting how they depict things in it because it's very much like the astral. So they actually do that pretty well, explaining that in the movie as well, where there's kind of like a lag that happens. When they take their helmet off and then they disappear, it's not exactly like that. In fact, in the astral, you stick around for a few minutes after you've woken up already. So your body can wake up and you would still be in the astral. So there's a little bit of a lag between the two. Learn that through the Tegetans. They were talking about it. Scrolling back up because there's a bunch of comments popping up. Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you, love. Oh, and I also put a huge chunk of rose quartz at my router and I don't get headaches anymore. That's really interesting, Cherise. We don't think about how much these things are affecting us. In fact, I shut off my router every night when I go to sleep, and I've noticed I'm not as groggy in the mornings. If I turn my router off before bed, I wake up feeling like I'm ready to go. Whereas if I don't know, maybe it's just something in my own mindset. These things can happen too, where you just think you're going to be more awake in the morning and you are. But still, I have noticed a difference sleeping with the router off. And what else is weird? I haven't needed my melatonin either. funnily enough. I only take the melatonin when I'm not tired. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm still wired. That's when I take it. I haven't needed to take it in 2-3 weeks. Part of which could have been because I was in the mountains, but still, like, just not having a router around all the time, I think is actually making a difference. Then he says, I've been getting really sweaty, even though it's not very hot out. So is this when you're sleeping that you get up really sweaty? If you're sweating at night and it's not hot outside, then you're working in the astral. Okay. You know how like when you're doing something with your phone and your phone's working really well and you're doing a whole lot of stuff and your phone gets really hot, especially if you're like, downloading or something. Yeah, you get really hot too. So when you've got a lot of energy or a lot of activity coming and going, you burn up too. So at nighttime, if you guys get the night sweats, ooh, and I just got goosebumps. If you get night sweats, you're doing stuff in the astral. I don't know, you could be astral traveling, you could be even duking it out with somebody in the astral, who knows? But yeah, if you're sweaty, there's a reason for that. It could also be hot flashes or something physical. It depends. I don't know where you are in your with the bio stuff, but yeah, it could also be that too. But if it's something that's not normal, that's out of character, yeah, that's probably something going on in the astral. Do you have a mirror, by the way? I just saw a mirror in my head. I don't know why. Do you have a mirror in your bedroom? This is one of the biggest things, you guys. I have been covering up all my my mirrors at night before bed in my bedroom. I've got 2 of them in my bedroom, and I cover them up now. And I have noticed that's also helping. You know why though? Because there's a couple clients where I have asked them what's disturbing their sleep state, because some people are having a very difficult time sleeping. And this is what happens. They actually use the mirrors to come and go from your bedroom. And because we check the next day and they're not there, we think, oh, obviously there's nothing there. But that's just because they didn't attach to you. They can still come in and mess with you in the middle of the night, which is what they were doing to a couple of the different clients. So yeah, this is why I say if you're having difficulty sleeping or if anything's being weird at night, make sure that you are, making sure there's nothing coming through in the night to mess with you. Michelle says your charm is all flashy. Is it labradorite? Yes, it is. It's a labby. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, it's a labby. Well spotted, Michelle. I've had this one a very long time. That's why it's like a little bit old. Trying to give all my old crystals some love. I think crystals don't like to be locked away for years. If they haven't been worn in years, they're kind of like, why am I here? So that's why I'm busting out the old ones. Michelle says, I got some mushroom hot cocoa and wow, does it help me sleep? You saw those ads too, huh? I've been seeing a lot of those mushroom hot chocolate ads myself. I do take a lot of mushrooms at night before I go to bed. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'll show you guys. I take cordyceps at night before bed. I take, ashwagandha. I take lion's mane. This one. Oh, this is the sea moss, black seed oil, ashwagandha, and burdock root. That's a good one. I like that one. And let's see. I got the lion's mane, the turkey tail. Yeah, the lion's mane. You got the big one. I take a lot of mushrooms, like already as it is. This is a really good one too. I take the 4X turkey tail ones. It's like highly concentrated turkey tail because turkey tail, it's just like 4 times stronger. But it helps with memory recall and that sort of thing. Anybody else have any favorite mushrooms they like to take before bed? Am I missing anything? Do you also take the other ones too? Microdose, just a little? Any good tips for helping with anxiety and such that you feel from others? Jamie, you're probably an empath if you're picking up anxiety. Well, all humans are empaths, but whether or not they're actually perceiving those things and being aware of those things is another story. So the fact that you are aware that you're picking up energy from other people is a huge step in the right direction. You just need to lock down your energy, especially when you're going out in public or if you're at work or something. You can lock it down by closing your chakras a bit. You can close down your energy field by putting up a barrier of white light or whatever kind of barrier you would like. Some of us tend to even put on things like wetsuits and invisibility cloaks, and you can get really clever in the astral, because anything that you visualize in the astral, you manifest. So if you really wanted to, you could put yourself in any kind of contraption or bubble or whatever to protect and block other people's energy. I tend to, when I'm going out in public, I use the mirror. So it's basically like a mirrored bubble. So any energy that's trying to come through that mirror gets reflected back. So that's my favorite one for using, is just, yeah, visualizing a big mirror around me. That tends to help. But it's also very important to make sure that you're cleansing at the end of the day too. As soon as you walk in the door, you make sure you take off your work clothes, put them straight into the wash. Make sure that you smudge yourself, that you are raising the vibration of your space with some Palo Santo. Sea salt is really important. Scrubbing down when you get home, scrubbing down in the shower, or even just taking a bath with sea salt. That's a big one. Chandrika says my mirror faces my bed. See, that's why I had to cover mine too. Mine also does, because it's on the back of my bathroom door, so it faces, and it's not a, yeah, no. That's when I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm not covering. I'm gonna cover this up from now on, because it's like bolted to my door. I can't take it off, so I just covered it. My dog wakes me up every night, and the last 2 nights again at 2:10. If your animals are waking you up in the middle of the night and they're not sleeping soundly, it's different if it's a cat, I guess, sometimes, because cats do kind of get the zoomies at night anyway. But there's more activity at night, so there's more things for the cats to chase and to have their attention. So if there's anything that is disturbing you, even if they're not acting like it's weird, even if they're not acting afraid or nervous or anything, it's still a good idea just to see, because you could have some naughty elementals coming in too. This is the funny thing I've started checking too, because they're not even considered part of the entities group. If we're talking about level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, those naughty elementals, they come through all the time through portals and stuff, and we don't clear them because they don't attach to people, the little ones anyway. But they can be just as disruptive to your sleep patterns. They can come in the middle of the night and mess with you in your sleep, or mess with your pets in your sleep. So always a good idea to kind of ask that question if you're having any difficulty sleeping. There was a disaster proclamation announced for my country, and so your county in Southeast Iowa. Oddly, my house was not touched, but all the houses around me. That night during the storm, I set up my protection pyramid. Trees were down everywhere. Well done, Jessica. Very interesting. Wow. I wonder if that helped, actually. Maybe it does. What do you cover it with? I just covered it with a scarf. Anything, just so there's no reflection, JC. I drink Om every day, 10 different mushrooms. I haven't seen Om. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Annie. Ashley says my cat just wants to be fed at 3 a.m. That's funny. What are elementals? Maria says, elementals are creatures that exist outside of our normal. I shouldn't even say they do, because, hold on, let me restart that. So seahorses are a type of 3D elemental. So if you look at a seahorse, what makes you think of it as an elemental? Well, obviously it is a creature that exists perfectly within its element. So that'd be more like a water elemental. A lot of the elementals we do see, though, are just considered normal animals, like jellyfish, for example. There's a lot of them that exist within different dimensions. So some of these elementals are visible because they're locked into our 3D frequency, but a lot of others are not. And you do know them most of the time as fairies and gnomes and elves and all of those, but they're really there's thousands of different types. I mean, maybe even tens of thousands of different types of elementals. Some of them are very kind and loving and nurturing, and some are not. Some are not at all. Any of those things. So it really depends on what you're tuning into. Are octopi elementals? No, octopi are galactics. They're ETs. In fact, the octopi that we have in the 3D physical are not the only octopi that exist on this planet. I literally cleared 2 octopuses last week from people. And they're funky. Remember the lady with the that I mentioned that has a shark for a gatekeeper? Yeah, she had an octopus attached to her. So, yeah. You just never know what exists. ETs we eat that we shouldn't be eating. I don't know, Michelle. There's a lot of ETs that eat us. If you keep that in mind. Ah, we are not at the top of the food chain, just for the record. So, personally, considering how many octopuses I see attached to people, it kind of makes me want to eat an octopus. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, all right, well, what goes around comes around. Ah. Michelle says I try not to think about that. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I'm almost 16-month-old baby boy. Always points to the mirror I have near the entrance door. He is afraid of it, but personally, I'm afraid of mirrors. See, this is why I don't know why people put mirrors all over their house. See? Yeah, I would cover that mirror up, darling. You can close it though. Remember, just like you close any portal, you can seal a mirror. So you can close your own portals and your own mirrors, but just be aware that they can reopen very easily. This is the point. This is why mirrors existed. They used them for scrying and all kinds of things. Yes, leprechauns are also real, Lynn. Leprechauns are definitely real. Yep. Stacy said I had a dream about squid-like ETs invading the earth and they were body snatchers, and that stuck with me. I think that's actually a memory, JC. Just saying. Because that's a thing. Yep, there's a lot of tentacly things. Anybody ever watch everybody ever watch hentai? Hentai? Am I saying it wrong? Hentai? If you know what I'm talking about? Then you'll know all about the tentacles. Quite a thing in hentai. Won't go into too much detail there. But yeah, it's been quite a thing, especially in anime for quite a while. Have you ever asked what Nessie is? I was watching a show last night and with new evidence, and it made me curious if there's something there. Oh yeah, Nessie was covered in Dolores's books. What book was that, you guys? Do you remember which one Nessie was in? It might have been Convoluted Universe 2, I think. But yeah, Nessie was covered by that. It's basically a giant snake. It doesn't have flippers or anything. A lot of people think it has flippers. It's not a plesiosaur or anything. A lot of people have made that assumption. It's a giant snake. And they don't even eat meat. They eat grasses. They're veggie snakes. So they do tend to stay in the very deep, deep waters. They don't have to come up for oxygen very often. And they do travel through the inner earth tunnels. Yes, exactly, Jessica. Maria says that post you shared about the missing person in the cave systems was eye-opening and a little freaky. Yeah, don't leave the beaten path when you go to national parks, you guys. National parks, you do not leave the trails ever. Okay? Do not ever leave the trails in the national parks. And even then, you might be putting yourself at risk a little bit. National parks are national parks for a reason. There's bases beneath them. There's all kinds of weird tunnel systems. And they don't want us putting in sewer systems and things in those areas. So they've always kind of kept them wild to argue that we need to keep more wild spaces, which is true. We do need to keep more wild spaces, but they were very strategic about what wild spaces they kept wild. We'll just put it that way. So yeah, the national parks, those are a lot of people go there all the time and have a wonderful time with no trouble, but just don't leave the beaten path. Okay. Just don't do it. You don't want to be the one person in 10,000 that goes down the wrong trail. Been told by a psychic that I have fairies in my house and they keep my son up at night playing with them in his crib. He often wakes up at night talking or laughing to himself. Yes, the fact that he's not scared of these fairies shows that they're probably really nice ones, but they do love babies. They do. Children have very vibrant energy and they're very easy to communicate with, and children can see them. And they are also quite harmless. So that's actually, out of all the humans that fairies tend to communicate with most, it's children. So yeah, you could give them a job say, hey, look after the little guy, make sure there's nobody coming to mess with him. You can say things like, hey, can you please let him sleep? Like, don't wake him up in the night. Just say that to the fairies. Just say, hey, I know you guys are here. You're welcome to be here. If you don't mind, though, can you please let him sleep at night? I know that this is a time that you can communicate with him easier, but it's better for him to actually have a good night's sleep. And it's better for the rest of the family. So just explain, ask them nicely, because they don't mean to cause problems. Many of the times these fairies that are around people's homes are perfectly harmless. In fact, they're really sweet. In fact, you ask them to do things like, hey, look after my flowers, or hey, look after my pets, and they generally will do so. They're happy to have a job. But when they're bored and they don't have a task to do, and they're just kind of, doing their own thing, that's when they can end up more mischievous than they need to be. So if you leave them presents as well, anything sweet, if you were to make them like little honey cakes or something, you would make besties with those fairies. They love that. So the fact that he's just talking and laughing to himself means that they're probably good ones. So I wouldn't worry too much. Let's see. I ran up to put pentagram stickers on my mirrors. Nice one, Connie. I actually think I might put some shungite and other things around my mirrors too, just to be on the safe side. Not shungite. What am I thinking? Tourmaline or obsidian. Don't climb stairs that lead to nowhere or stop. That's another good one, Jessica. Yes. Daniel says, I always sleep on the edge of them trails always. See, that's very good. Smart move, Daniel. Hi, Bradley. Nice to see you, bud. My getaway was great. I've had a wonderful, what do you call it? Unplugging. It was nice to actually have a break from technology for a little bit. My boyfriend and I were dropped off in Denali and P one time when we were completely alone until the bus came back by. It was very eerie and I was pretty freaked out. The whole time we were alone, it felt like something or someone was trying to snatch us and refused to go too far away from the road. You'd be surprised, especially in places like deserts and other areas. Even here in Appalachia, I'm in Appalachia, we get a lot of weird stuff that happens up in the mountains. So yeah, this is a zoo, you guys. We are living in a zoo. There's a lot of very interesting creatures out there. Hi, Christopher. Christopher's here.
Oh.
How you doing, bud?
Hey, good morning.
Nice to see you. Your background looks beautiful. You got the room all set up.
Thank you. Yeah,
Very
we did a little
nice.
rearranging here. Oh, got other lights. Yeah, it feels
Yeah, it
great.
looks lovely.
I love all the
Christopher's in
elements, wood and plants and fresh air. It's so good and to have in a space where you're working or living or practicing.
Oh, that's good. I'm just reading through some of the comments. JC wanted to know about the portals. JC, remember, this is the pentagram that I have behind me right here. I didn't even put that up there. You just follow the pentagram, counterclockwise circle, slam it shut. Michelle can hear crickets. Is that you, Christopher? That's definitely not me.
There are crickets in the room.
No.
They just let themselves in.
That's cute. You got like a little, energy healers around you with their frequency. Love it. Very cool. So we're going to do a little bit of Qigong with Christopher today, because Qigong is one of the most common things when people are needing to move more. The soul guides are like, hey, why don't you try this? Qigong is very popular with the soul guides. So we're gonna learn some more about it today. It's really nice to see you, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so grateful to be here. Thanks for offering the space.
It's a pleasure. So Christopher's been doing Qigong a very long time. You want to explain a little bit about it for those who might be new to it?
Qigong basically is a word that means the skillful use of energy. The skillful use of energy. So how do we use our energy to support our life, to support health, to support vitality? That's the question. And Qigong has many different forms. It's been with humanity for thousands and thousands of years. And unlike yoga kind of got narrower and narrower to a specific set of practices that are very popular in the West. Qigong never really did. So Qigong ranges from the magical and the mystical alchemy type practices all the way over to physical practices that look a little bit like yoga and are a little bit simpler for the most part. So I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. It's the basic idea with what Danielle and I call healing Qigong is that the body is designed to move. We need to move. And if we sit still, our energy gets stagnant and gets lower. Like, for example, you're on a long airplane flight for many hours. At the end of the airplane flight, how many people that get off the airplane are like, I feel terrific, right?
no,
You've
no,
just
no.
been resting for 4, 5, 6 hours, just sitting there. So you'd think that maybe that would generate energy. And that's not really what turns out to be the case. What turns out to be the
No.
case is that skillfully using the energy we have to move our bodies creates the opportunity for more energy to flow. And when more energy flows, the body can balance and its internal innate self-healing capacity can come online.
Ah, lovely. So for somebody that has never, what's the first thing? It's usually the hand movements and the awareness of your space, right? Where you're the flow of energy and reconnecting with your space, right? Facial. There's a
In
word I'm
terms
trying
of
to think.
like basic practice,
Yeah, yeah,
the basic practice is to start with the body. It's fun to get into the internal stuff and the energy work and the meditations. And for most of us, especially if we have a desk job where we sit a lot, we really just want to get every part of the body moving. So all of the joints can move. Everything in your body that has the capacity to move, we can move in every direction. That's a practice called opening the gates. It takes about 10 minutes. And it just lets any place, like imagine if you're out in the woods or by a stream and you see that there's some sticks or logs or leaves or blocking the flow of the stream. It's almost universal that we want to pick up a stick and like sweep that out of the way, right? It's like,
yeah.
oh, let me let that stream flow. Like it's an unconscious impulse to the stream's blocked up and and it feels good somehow to watch the leaves now go rushing down the stream because you've removed the blockage. So that's what we like to do with a very basic Qigong practice, is to move every part of the body, because our energy moves through meridians, through channels in the body that are called meridians. You could think of them as rivers of energy or rivers of light. And for every one of us, there's some restrictions right now. Every one of us has restrictions. And so by moving every part of the body, especially where we feel stress or tension, we can free up the free flow of energy in our body to go where it needs to go. And right away, we'll feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more uplifted, and some healing can happen.
Love that. And the healing aspect is, I think, the most important, because one of us, like yesterday, we were talking about how trauma and all these things are hidden in the body. And in fact, like if you can even move these energies within yourself, like for example, if you're dealing with a lot of work stress and then you go running, you end up moving all that energy down to your feet. But with Qigong, you can actually release these things. You're releasing rather than moving it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we use both the movement, the breath, and our imagination to move it. So today we'll do a little practice called the Golden Shield, which is a visualization for protection. And we're using our imagination. And it's said in from one of my teachers that energy flows where intention goes. Intention isn't
Yeah.
so much like I intend to find the right partner or I intend to have a new job. It's more about where we place our mind. So if we concentrate and bring a little focus to practice for even 5 minutes, energy tends to move in that direction that we were previously imagining. So it starts to become a little more real.
Perfect. Well, let's begin, shall we?
Yeah. So if you'd like, we'll do about 10 minutes or so. If you're
Perfect.
able to come to stand, you're welcome to, and it's equally good in seated in a chair. Totally fine. I'll stand up though.
I'll pretend I'm in an office chair, who was it? It's just the Jessica. Cool.
You basically are at your office.
Yeah, Jessica just said, what moves can be done in office settings where others won't be concerned if they happen to glance over? So this is
Yeah.
good.
And the moves
Cool.
can range from very big and very expressive all the way down to completely internally. So with practice, Qigong becomes an internal state where you're working with your energy. There's a practice called the microcosmic orbit, where you're moving energy intentionally through your body. And it takes quite a lot of practice to be able to do that. So it's easiest to do it by moving the body at first. So we'll start by doing a little shaking. Whether you're sitting or standing, we'll start with the fingers. This is a practice of letting go. And then let the shake just move up your arms to your elbows. Take a deep breath in and let it out with a sigh. And notice that your head and neck are starting to find some of their movements. Turning your head from one way to the other. Try to keep shaking or bouncing as much of your body as you can, and then let the head gently start to make little half circles. Open and close your mouth and your jaw. Blink the eyes a few times. And then let's take 3 big in-breaths and let it out with a sigh, an audible sigh or a sound. Breathing in through the nose. 2 more, a sigh or a sound. And again. And then find a way to shake your legs or your feet. If you're standing, you can do one leg at a time. If you're seated, you can shake your foot or bend and flex the ankle. Find a way to get the bottom half of your body moving in a way that doesn't create any pain. Keep checking in with the places where you know you hold tension. For me, it's in my neck. So a little extra attention to wherever you feel tight, even while you get the rest of the whole body shaking. If you took 5 or 10 minutes in the morning to shake, your body would feel so much better throughout the day. And since our body and our mind are together as one, when our body feels better, we feel better mentally. Our thinking becomes a little more positive just by shaking it out.
This is what they suggested to a surgeon that needed a clearing from me. They said in between, yeah, for a surgeon, yeah. They said, no, make sure that she's going in between surgeries when she's going in. She goes into another room and shake. That's what they told her to do. In between clients, whatever. Shake.
These practices are very simple, and the key is to give yourself just a little time, 5 or 10 minutes each day, to test them for yourself.
My hands are tingling like crazy right now.
Yeah, let's explore that a little bit. So shake the hands really fast, like so fast that you can barely see them. Shake. And then rub them together. Rub like you're outside on a cold day. Briskly rub.
My wrists feel very limp.
Rub the backs of your hands too. Rub them together. Rub.
Wow, that's
We're going to feel the chi. And then one more time, shake. And then imagine there's a space in front of your body right below your navel, and bring your hands there so that they're maybe 6 inches or 10 inches apart from each other. And just feel whatever you notice in your hands and your fingers.
I feel like my hands have gotten 5 times larger.
Cool.
I don't know. I feel like I have those hands and everything everywhere all at once. Like that movie.
Yeah.
The hot dog fingers. That's the one.
Or that was a crazy world, right? With all the big hands. What were they all? Hot dog fingers?
Yeah, hot dog fingers. That's what I feel like I have right now.
So whatever you feel, if you feel warmth or if you feel tingling, whatever you feel, this is a sign that you have improved the chi flow, the energy flow to your hands.
Jazz hands. Love it. Yes. Spirit fingers.
Now take these cool hands. Now imagine, here's where we use the breath and the imagination. Imagine that your hands are now energized, that they're magical, that they can do anything you want them to do. And we'll start to draw a circle up and overhead and then back down around us. So we're going to paint our auric field with the colors of the rainbow. As you inhale and bring up, imagine all the colors of the rainbow are flowing up. And as you exhale and bring the hands down, imagine the colors of the stars, the sun, the moon are flowing down around you. Inhale, colorful gemstone energy comes up from the earth. Exhale, shimmering silver golden light from above are surrounding you. And then move the hands a little bit so one is more forward and one is more back. Enjoying the twist if that feels good to your body. And then the other side. Another hand forward, another hand back. Any way you'd like. And imagine that these circles that you're painting go down below your feet as well. So they're to both sides of you, they're above you, they're below you, and they're in the front and the back. So you're now surrounded by a sphere, a glowing, pulsing sphere of energy and light. And then bring your hands up so they're right in front of the heart and the wrists are right in front of each other. This is the heart point. So your hands aren't touching each other and they're not touching you, but there's a line. You can imagine a line going between your wrists. This is the heart point. Remember Wonder Woman with those bracelets? So you have your bracelets on and they're lined up right in front of your heart. This is a heart protection pose. And then relax your shoulders and relax your body. And then with your eyes open or lowered or even closed, just start to imagine that there's energy streaming out from your heart and joining the sphere of light around you. This is a golden shield, the shield of protection, the shield of safety and security. And let's take 10 deep breaths in and out and keep all of your attention on imagining that this golden shield is surrounding you, that you can almost see it. You can almost taste it. You can almost touch it. Take 10 breaths. Bring all of your heart's energy to your own golden shield. Let your face relax into a gentle smile. Feel your own energy. Feel the space around you. And then relax your hands, relax your shoulders, relax your face into a smile. Letting these next few breaths be a transition out of the practice. Feel within, look within, and listen within. Letting your body start to release, to move.
I think that cricket was really helping, actually. Something with the
Oh, and then bring both your hands to your heart. Thank yourself for giving this
Thank you
little
so
energy medicine treatment to yourself.
much.
And then whatever you see in the room, your space, others, maybe us on the screen, let's offer this to each other as this community of practice in this very moment. And then let your body shake, and we're complete. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Christopher. That's amazing.
How do you guys feel?
When are you going to be doing Qigong on Sundays again?
We just started. We have a class this Sunday, but then we're doing a free class starting the next Sunday. We're going to do 3 Sundays in a row and open it up a little more. And for those of you in Astara, we'll put the replays there so you don't need to be there live. And absolutely everybody can join for free live.
Wonderful. This is one of the best things you guys can do for self-care. Seriously, that's why we're always talking about it.
It's so good. I'd love to have you with us. Here, I'll share the link, Laura. Maybe you can.
Thank you, Christopher. Happy to.
Wherever it might be. And I'm happy to just come here and keep doing this with you. You know, this is...
I love it. I really do. I learned Qigong when I was living in Scotland, funnily enough. I used to do it down by the river, and it was honestly the best thing I did for myself. Like the entire time I was doing my self-care thing, the amount of energy I had and the weight that I lost too. Like you don't think that you can actually lose weight doing Qigong, but you do. I lost it very quickly. So I'm going to get back into all of that right now. It's my thing. So thank you, Christopher. That was amazing.
You're welcome. I tried to post a link.
Saying positive things. Summer says, I feel great. I have a busy afternoon, so I'm ready now. Thank you, Christopher.
10 minutes a day. Listen, 10 minutes a day is like less than 1% of your day. So just think about it. Like there's a little ratio.
And it does amazing things for your energy levels, your stress levels, pain, because all these things pain is often trapped energy within the body. So if you're, delicately releasing that. So, yeah.
Sabrina, I love that the crickets is one of the best things you can listen to. This world is so magical. I had no idea I was bringing cricket medicine to you all. So,
it's funny. If you slow crickets down, it sounds like people singing. Have you ever heard that before?
There's a YouTube about that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. If you slow crickets down, they're very high frequency. If you slow them down, this sounds like people singing in a chorus.
It sounds like a heavenly chorus of angels, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Crickets are amazing. That's one of the best things we could have had in the background. I would love it.
Laura, it's such a joy to be with you. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure, Christopher. Anytime. We'll be sure to join you on Sunday.
Sounds great. See you later.
Awesome. See you soon. Bye, bud. That was great. How are you guys feeling? Did you guys feel the tingles and stuff as well? Chen told us we need to do more meditations and more practices. So that's why we brought Christopher in today. And thank you so much, Christopher. That was really amazing. My hands seriously are still tingling right now. That was crazy. Summer says I did it standing in the kitchen. Kids were being loud and the dog was barking. Normal mom stuff. Never a dull moment. I half expect the frog in the top hat to roll by. That's funny, Daniel. I feel like I unblocked a lot of energy. Wonderful. That is so good. See, this is why we say just a little bit in the morning, even just 10 minutes in the morning, and you will feel so much just energy around you, and does wonderful things for your stamina and all sorts of different stuff. So I had a cricket in my closet yesterday. We just looked at each other. It's funny. Any questions? Anybody want to discuss anything? I remember somebody asked about Mondays. Mondays, I will still be doing my Monday mentorship chats, just for the record. I won't be doing them when I'm away in France, which is in 10 days from now. But I will still be popping on to the podcast at least once a day to see how you guys are. I don't know if it'll be at the same time, but it does help. If you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel, Astral Exploration with Lara Star is what it's called as well, you'll get better notifications. Facebook doesn't give you very good notifications. Tomorrow I have the chat. I will be coming on for a special event podcast on Saturday because we're going to have Blair Styra joining me for a chat. For those of you who might not remember who Blair is a very good friend of Dolores's, and Blair is a wonderful trance medium. In fact, he was the first trance medium I ever got the pleasure of speaking with. In fact, if you guys remember my chat with Dolores Cannon when she called me a lighthouse and that conversation with the goats and all that with my dad, that was that I've told you guys about several times. That was all through Blair. I've had two sit down chats with him over the last year, and he has been instrumental in guiding me on this very complicated path that I've been traveling. So when I asked him to come on, I was very excited to introduce him to you guys, so that way you can hear things from his perspective, because he's just very unique. Tabash, his guide, his soul guide that he connects with, that he channels, is very interesting. In fact, he actually has his eyes open when he's channeling. Tabash can actually, because some mediums feel more comfortable with their eyes closed. Some prefer to keep their eyes shut. And he opens his, so he can actually, it's different in a way. But you guys will love him. He's wonderful. That will be 6 p.m. Eastern time. It will be 10 a.m. on Sunday for those of you who are in New Zealand, where Blair is. So that's why we're doing it that time. Otherwise, it would have been like normal podcast time would have been 3 a.m. for him, and that's not going to work. So I always appreciate the Aussies and the Kiwis that come on here. I know you guys have a lot of difficulty watching live, so I just want to let you guys know, appreciate you. So this is technically my great thanks to all of my friends down in Australia and New Zealand who are constantly watching the podcast, even though it's not at your normal times. It was a lot of them that watch the recordings and are commenting afterwards. So this is my big thank you to them as well, so that way we can have one that's live their time that they can actually participate and enjoy. So yeah, that'll be 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then I will be back Monday for the next mentorship. And I'll do a, what do you call it? It's another, is it 8 a.m. Australian time? I'm not sure. Let me check. I thought he said 10 a.m. New Zealand time. Let me double check on that. Let's see. Yeah, it's 8 a.m. in Sydney. Yep. So 8 a.m. Sydney and 10 a.m. in Wellington, for those of you who are down under. So, hi, Ellen. Yeah, it's 12:30 a.m. for Ellen right now. Exactly. So this is one of my thank yous to you guys, to have somebody that's actually able to be live for you guys. So that'll be fun. Anybody else have any other questions? I might end it a little early today because I'm going to run out to the farmers market and do some stuff. Like I said, if there's any questions though, if there's anything that you guys are going through, you want to ask about, I'll probably watch the replay as my grandson has a football game. I hope you enjoy the football game, Karen. Hi, Minty. Nice to see you, darling. We miss Minty. Minty's going to have to come back and hang out with us again sometime soon. I'll send you a private message, Minty. We'll plan the next chat, shall we? It'll have to be when I get back from France. My podcast schedule is completely full until I get back from France. So I'm actually planning podcasts now for like the 23rd, 24th. Is this going to be on Astara? No, it's going to be right here. I'm going to do it right here on the normal channels. Although I would love to get Blair on a star at some point. Maybe we can make that happen. Minty's coming over here in 6 weeks' time. It's going to be so exciting. We have to make a plan to hang out in person. Maybe we should plan a little shindig somewhere. Oh, it's a pleasure, Summer. I love you. It's 1 a.m. right now in Sydney. Yeah, see, this is why you guys deserve to have a different time schedule on occasion. I appreciate you guys joining me so often. Oh, Karen says, what time is the Lost Soul group today? Yes, today we were going to do the Lost Soul at 2:30. But right now things are kind of in limbo. I am trying to find another SRT medium that can cover us today. Katie is unable to do so. So at the moment, that's one of the things that I have to do next is to see if I can find somebody that's gonna take point on that. If I am able, then I will do so. I'll keep you guys updated in the group, in the WhatsApp chat. Let's see. I have Marla's class today. Thank you so much for reminding me, Michelle. I love you. You're the best. Thank you, Michelle. Hang on. Danielle has probably already sent this to me. Yep, she did. And I didn't even look. Thank you, Danielle. I love you. So today at 12 p.m., there is the Activate Your Light Earth Element Activation and Closing Circle with Marla Lumina. Marla's been leading a wonderful mediumship circle, and it's all kinds of wonderful things going on in there, especially with the light language. So make sure you guys check it out. And then Sunday, as we just learned from Christopher, at 10 a.m., there will be a healing Qigong chat with Christopher, and you guys can practice some more Qigong moves. Yes, today is the last one with Marla, so make sure that you guys don't miss it. And also the Chen chat recording is up there. So for those of you who did not get a chance to do the past life regression with Chen yesterday, make sure that you guys go and check out the recording. It'll be under Chen chats. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern with Blair Styra. It's going to be a great chat. I will see you guys then. Mwah! Bye.